गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So last week we were looking at, what was the last week, man? We are in the Katha Upanishad, first chapter, Tritiya Valli, third part. And here we are looking at the two Atmas. See, in this body, the Paramatma is also there, the Atma is also there, the Jivatma is also there, the Jiv Bhav is also there. Which one are we? We have to discover. So here this chapter begins with bringing the attention that there are two Atmas, one is the Atman and one is the Jivatman. Atma, who is Jivatman? The one who is the ego, the I self, the I ego, not the I self, I ego, the one who is identified with the body as I. And who is Atma? Atma is the self. Both are in you. I gave when I did the overview, you must have understood all that, isn't it? So the first verse said, Rutam pibantau sukrutasya loke guham pravishtou parame parardhe chaya tapau brahma vido vadanti panchagnayo ye chatrina chiketaha. So the Brahmavido Vadanti, what do the knowers of the truth, what do they say? They say that those through this body, there is two things in this body, knowledge, action and knowledge. Understand this also. And when they how should I say, when we take that, when we use the self for satisfying our desires, when we are the self, when we are satisfying the desires in this world, who is this person? Can this be the Atman? Can this be or is it the individual? The individual ego. So, when it has considered that it is the body, automatically, spontaneously, that very moment, the desires arise, and the individual, the Jivatman, Jiva, he is prompted to act in life. Now, we act. What is your observation? by watching others as well as yourself. That when you were taking the body to be real, you were taking the world to be real, and you had desires for the world, and you pursued the world, and you gained whatever you wanted in this world, isn't it? But that was not enough because the desires won't finish. Then what you started doing? You started becoming a philanthropist. You started building temples. You started giving donations. You started taking care of people without expecting anything in return. Why? Thinking that I will accrue punya. If I have to do karma, why not do it for getting punya? Because this money comes, money goes. But when he lives like that for some time, people are ungrateful. They take advantage, but they don't. He should not look for reciprocation, but it is automatic for people. And then even, and if we just take it positively, that does that, but that also does not give him satisfaction, and therefore he starts doing puja, archa, japa, etc. for attainment of heaven. And when one goes to heaven, depending upon which heaven you are going to, the karma can lead to relative immortality. Understand? The karma through purification, through invocation can only happen if there is purification, when you are focused. So it leads to, it can take you to the various heavens, and living in the heaven, depending upon which one you are, if you are at only the Swarg where Indra is, very quickly you will come back on the earth. But if you go to Brahma Lok or any other Saket or Vaikunth or Kailash, then you are immortal. And last week I mentioned what is the difference between Jivan Mukti and immortality. Liberation and immortality. Liberation is where there is no rebirth. Immortality is relative immortality, meaning that you are not, there may be birth after birth after birth, but you are not concerned about it. Why? Because you are in tune with the divine theme. Therefore, just like you are in tune with your ego, therefore every day waking, dream, deep sleep, waking, dream, deep sleep, waking, dream, deep sleep. Change the ego to God, Ishvara. That waking, dream, deep sleep is still going on. All activities in the world is going on, but you are committed. You are in your eyes, in your attention is only on the divine principle. And liberation is balavat, unmattavat, pishachavat. Is unconcerned. So here it was told that so these two, karma and knowledge and karma, these two are like chaya tapo. They are like light and shadow. Knowledge is of the nature of light, and shadow is, because there is light, only then there is shadow possible. Exactly the same way, if you understand this, same way within us, here it was told, what was it? Rutam pibatau sikrutasya loke guham pravishtau parame paradhe. That there are two, Atma and Jiva, in the secret cavity of the heart, and they are of the nature of light and shadow. Now, which will be light and which will be shadow? The ego is the shadow and the Atma is the light. And here, without The Atma, Jivatma is not possible, just as shadow is not possible without the light. Exactly the same way. And this principle, this shadow, or this the reflected consciousness, uh, reflected, he is a reflection of the original. Who? The individual. What is the original? Atma. Where are both of them? In this body, in the cavity of your heart. This is the point that was told, and it was told Panchagneo ye cha trinachiketa vadanti, and that remember what was Trinachiketa? Nachiketa Agni. Nachiketa Agni was the fire of contemplation, the invocation of the fire of contemplation. When it says Panchagneo, Panchagni is invoked by the family people when they do the what is called यार वो सुबह 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 करते हैं ना, what is it called? They invoke the fire. What is it called? Rigvedis. Huh?
Agnihotra, Swami.
Agnihotra. The word was not coming. It is called Agni. So that Agnihotra, they are invoking the. See, you have to understand. Trinachiketa Agni. So, at a very, for the Grahasthas, it is the Agnihotra or the Panchagni. For the Jnani, what it will be? It will be invocation of that Agni by way of concentration on the self. For a Japa, he will be invocation of that Agni by way of the word, mantra to go from Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. See? So here, because it was told Brahma Vido Vadanti, does not mean that only the Brahmavadina, the one who know the Brahman, only they are allowed to invoke. No, they have already gone and beyond. Even the Grahasthas are equally qualified. So here when it says that those who have invoked this Nachiketa Agni 3 times, they are also called as, here it says, the same conclusion, even the Grahasthas who are invoking the Panchagni, they also come to, meaning that when our attention is only on the world, on the Agni, remember this. Nachiketa Agni, where can it take you? What can it give you maximum? Remember previous chapter? Maximum it can take you to is Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is Brahmalok. Brahmalok is Satyalok. And you are immortal. And when Lord had offered him the entire world, Nachiketa did not want it, and therefore, pleased with him, he renamed Vaishwanara Agni by Nachiketa Agni. Remember? He renamed it. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha. He is the Vaishwanar inside. It is their body. A living body cannot be without fire. Invoke it. How do you invoke it? At a physical level, control your vitalities. At subtle level, make your mind focused. See? At intellectual level, discriminate. You are invoking the Vaishwanara Agni. Those are the stages. There is no confusion if you think wholesomely. Don't take one point and just brood over it. Nothing will. You look at the total picture. You know what they say? Think global, act local. Your attention should be on the total vision. And where you are practicing it is here, in this body. You cannot act all over the world. See? But that does not mean put your head in the clouds. Think global. Cloud. Nahi, 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 nahi. Now, what does it mean to think global or think total? What does it mean? Either it means focus on the Lord, Ishvara. Another way it means is, I'm speaking loudly here, contemplating. It's not given here in the Bhashya. It means living at general principle level. We are not living at individual principle. We are living at general principle. Gravity is the general principle. You cannot drink mirage waters is a general principle. And when it says the world is like a mirage, you can never be satiate your thirst or desires by running afterward. General principle. Follow it in your life. Vaikhari madhyama pashyanti para, general principle. Whoever practices it, it will work. See? So with that, it was told that, where are we? That those who have invoked the Nachiketa Agni, they or those who are grahasthas who have invoked the Panchagni, they all say the same thing. That, and also the Brahmaveta, the knowers of Brahman, they also say the same thing. What do they say? That these two Atmas are inside. Mundaka Upanishad says the same thing. Those Suparnas Saja Sukhaya. Two birds sitting on the same tree, on a branch of a tree. One content with himself, the other one looking outwards. Same things, the story comes in the story of in Bhagavatam, where Avigyat and Panchajanya, not Panchajanya, what was his name? Puranjana. The Puranjana. So they are going in a flight, and Puranjana looks down. Oh, how beautiful the earth is, how beautiful the trees are, how beautiful the mountains are. Avigyat is sitting quietly, he is content in himself. And then he comes, their plane comes over the city of 9 gates, and there is a beautiful girl. And at that moment, while they were flying over that city, the shadow of the plane fell on her, and she looked up. The eyes met, and Puranjan got drunk with those eyes and immediately fell down. This is our story. This is our story. So we are not going to go more in that story. लड़के लड़की की बात सुनी तो फटाफट ears are up. Only the example was taken only to show that there were two in the plane, in the UFO. And now he says in the second verse, you can repeat, Yes, Seturi Janan, Jananam, Yes, Seturi Jananam, Aksharam Brahma Yat Param, Aksharam Brahma Yat Param, Abhayam Titirshatam Param, abhayam titirshatam param nachiketam shakemahi nachiketam shakemahi. Together, यस्सेतुरीजानानाम् अक्षरं ब्रह्म यत्परम् अभयं तितीर्षतां पारं नाचिकेतं शकेमहि. So here it says that yes, Setu, bridge. Setu means bridge. That when we master the Nachiket fire, meaning we have invoked the fire, the energy, the fire, the is urdhogami. Our attention is not on Muladhar, Swadhisthana and Manipur. Our attention is on the higher chakras, Anahat, Vishuddhi. Why am I bringing Kundalini here? In Upanishads, there is no place for Kundalini. But to explain, when the energy, when the fire is moving upwards, higher and higher, the fire always moves upwards. Our fire, where it moves? Only downwards. We want it to move upwards. For that, you have to invoke the Nachiketa Agni. You have to invoke, and that invocation involves focus, concentration, single pointedness of purpose. You must be caught up by some higher imagination, something divine, a divine goal, a divine destination. See? So here he says that when this the fire sacrifice, the Nachiketa fire is invoked, and what is this Nachiketa fire? Nachiketa fire is the bridge. What is this bridge for? This bridge is for the Jivatma, the ego, to use the Nachiketa fire, they invoke the Nachiketa fire and come to where? Come to the other fellow. Who? The Atman. Who was it? Inside. Inside here, both of you are there, no? The self that is constant and the self that is changing. Who is changing? Seer is changing to hearer, is changing to taster, is changing to blinker, is changing to understander, is changing to experiencer, to knower. Continuously we are changing, isn't it? We can keep going, you can keep adding. Waker, dreamer, sleeper, all these are changing. They are not continuous. But which one is the continuous? The one who knows that all these come and go. That one is the changeless. And that is the discrimination, isn't it? Vivek, Vairagya, Shatkasapatti and Mumukshutvam. So what is Vivek? Discrimination between changeless and changing. So what is ego? Ego is obsessed with the changing. All changing put together. Changing consciousness. Because his attention, it seems that way. We are not talking about some concept. We are talking about you right now. You are seeing also, hearing also, touching also, tasting also, understanding also, experiencing also. Who is this fellow? It cannot be the self, it is the ego. Oh, I thought after Upanishads I became realized. If you are owning it, if you are identified with what is going on, then it is ego. Swamiji, That's why every lecture seems to be fresh. Why? We never heard it. Oh, we are realized. Huh? Every day is a new lecture. So when this Nachiketa Agni is invoked, it is the bridge for those people who perform sacrifices. And one moment. Where are we? For for sacrifices, those who perform sacrifices. And why do we perform sacrifices? Only with the intention to attain something higher, something greater, something immortal. See? यस्सेतुरीजानानाम् अक्षरं ब्रह्म यत्परम् अभयं तितीर्षतां पारं नाचिकेतं शकेमहि. Abhayam titirshatam param. And what happens? Such a person on that invocation of that bridge, invocation of that Nachiketa fire, he becomes fearless and he becomes fearless. Nachiketam shakemahi. So in this manner, we see, such a person having become immortal or known the reality, he becomes fearless, and he becomes fearless. He doesn't say that I have become fearless. Other people observe him to be a fearless person. So, abhayam titirshatam param. So, for others, he seems to be fearless. Why? Because he has crossed all the worlds. He is no longer, as long as you are in this world, there is rebirth. As long as you go to any of the lokas, there is rebirth. That is called immortality. But liberation is different. There is no coming back. There is no return. So Shakemahi, we are able to know well. And what do? We keep invoking this energy, keep building up, just like you keep working every day and keep building up the bank account balance. Every month you look, 10,000 more, 20,000 more, 30,000 more. What are you doing? Your capacity to spend is increasing. Your savings are increasing. Same way, when we invoke the Nachiketa Agni, keep at it. It's not that 100% of the day, 24 hours a day, you will be able to practice it. But whenever you get free time, contemplate, do japa, perform selfless karma, remain happy, do some pranayam, whichever way. Keep collecting. And remember, what is it? You think that it is inside of you, this fire, but it is that fire which is of the whole creation. Just like this breath that you call it breath, but it is the total airs. You call it this space, but it is the total space. So similarly, this fire which is invoked Actually, it is Vaishwanara, now called as Nachiket fire, but actually it is Vaishwanara. Vaishwanara Agni is the total. Remember, space has no form, air has no form, fire has the first form. So, this entire creation, the planets, the galaxies, the black holes, the white holes, all the variety on this creation, in this world, on our earth itself, we haven't discovered everything yet. All the planets, all the other parallel worlds, if there are any, all that is physical universe, isn't it? What is that which is the common denominator for the whole thing? It is the Vaishwanara. The Agni which is giving form to the entire visible universe is called Vaishwanara, renamed as Nachiketa. Nachiketa or Nachiketa? Nachiketa. Understand? So by invoking this fire, we are being one with the total fire. We are being one with the total universe. What does it mean? When you give up desire for the world and you desire for the higher, and you hold that intention, the desires are pulling you, the body, senses are pulling you, the mind is pulling you, but your intellect has made a decision. No, I am going to contemplate on that truth. I am going to do the japa. I am going to listen to the Upanishad, just like all of you are listening right now. The other day, someone, I said, when I was in Sydney, please come over. He says, yeah, I would love to, but the God has come down on earth. I said, what happened? He says, there is rugby finals going on. For him, that is the God on earth. It came down to the Sydney Stadium or somewhere, wherever it was going on. See? So, always there are some distractions, but we choose. And as we keep on at it, maybe 5 minutes a day we were remembering, then it became 10, then it became 20, then it became half an hour, then it became maybe 5 minutes 10 times a day, maybe it became 20 minutes 5 times a day. And slowly, whenever you get time, you keep contemplating, keep becoming available to it. What is being available? To be one with the total universe. How the total universe is nothing but the projection of your mind. That's one way of looking at it. But if you don't understand that, it's okay. You just make your mind single pointed. That's all. How the individual is the total. How the individual wave is the infinite water. How this individual consciousness is the infinite consciousness. Keep thinking this way. The momentum will build up. What is happening as you're practicing this, thinking about this, contemplating on this day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, momentum is building up. Somewhere the balloon will pop. Boom. Somewhere it will pop up. So this Nachiket fire, it is like a bridge, and what is bridge? Bridge is that which is unlinkable. It links the two which are far away. Maybe there is empty space, maybe there is water, maybe there is a gap between two mountains. You build a bridge. So, to too much trouble, you are able to go from one place to the other. Without the bridge, you would not be able to go. What is where you want to go? You want to go from, what is that? Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Asato ma sadgamaya. So this bridge will take you from untruth to truth. What is untruth? Ego doesn't exist. It will take you where? It will take you to the truth, the Atma. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. From darkness to light. We already explained in the first verse. The ego is the shadow. The original is the light. Knowledge is not the word knowledge. Knowledge is not the book knowledge. The self is of the nature of knowledge. His shadow is this ego. It is tamasic, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityor ma amritam gaya. Mrityu, death, is only for the one who is identified. Death is only for the one who is changing. Death is only one for the one who has fallen down. Death is for the shadow, not for the light. Death is for the asat, not for the sat. So which one are you considering? If you are celebrating birthdays, you are accepted, you are asat. Lage raho abhi. I'll put some more ghee into your life. So if you are celebrating birthdays, if you are calculating, now I am 58 years old, now I am 61 years old, now I am 60, 59, oh, in few months time it will be 60, oh my God, now I have to do Shashti Purti. Then you are not a seeker. Seeker doesn't worry about the age. Why? Every moment is new. Every moment is fresh. Every moment is dying. This dialogue of Nachiketa and Yamaraj, right now it is going on. You are the Nachiketa, the life, he is young, he is looking forward, he is focused on the truth. And death is also there. Both are here right now. So it is the bridge because it leads us from sorrow to the joy, etc. From mortality to immortality, from darkness to light, and so on. And what is the word? Ijananam. Ijananam means for the sacrificers, the performers of the rites. Here he says, let's read the, I'm reading it from there, but यह सेतुः इव सेतुरीजानानां यजमानानां कर्मिणां दुःखसन्तरणार्थत्वात् नाचिकेतः अग्निहितं वयं ज्ञातुं चेतुं च शकेमहि शक्नुवन्तः. Nachiket Agni is the sadhana, is the means to cross over all the dukkha, all the sorrows. What are all the sorrows? Birth, death is the rebirth, is the sorrow. Understand this once and for all. Dying and being reborn is sorrowful. अच्छा मैं तो अभी मरी नहीं. When will I die? I don't know. I don't want to go. Every night you die when you go to sleep. Every morning you wake up. Wake up to what? Thinking that it's the same body. Break this link. that it is not the same body. The continuation is only for the ego. This is dukkha. We are trying to maintain and continue that which is continuously changing. Bewkoof. How can you continue something that is always changing? And that is what creates sorrow in our life. Expectations. That I'm going to control the world, I'm going to control my wife, I'm going to control my husband, I'm going to control my children. I have to give them samskars. All parents आजकल यही बोलते हैं. We have to give samskars to the children. What can you give? What have you done? You can't give. You can create environment, that's all. If you cannot control your mind, you cannot give sanskar to your children. Simple as that. Dukkha. If you can't control your mind, there the sorrow begins. If you are the slave of your mind, you are living a miserable life. This time it was very strange. So many houses I went to in Sydney, everywhere, depression and anxiety. परेशान हो गया मैं. दस मिनट में मैं खाना खा लेता हूँ, 1.5 घंटा मेरा दिमाग खाते हैं. क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है? बट इट इज नॉट जस्ट सिडनी, इट इज एवरीवेयर. It's become a rampant problem now. It looks like that. All because of one reason. We are slaves of our mind. Nobody has taught us. Education, this system doesn't teach us. Parents don't teach us. Grandparents don't teach us. Grandparents are sitting and flicking switches. This show to that show to this show to that show. Parents too busy. Teachers, there also they keep putting, they don't have any knowledge themselves. Just put it on PowerPoint, all the points there, children copy it down or take photograph, lecture over. Where's the inspiration? Where's the man making guidance? See? यह से हाँ तो दुःख संतरणार्थत्वात् नाचिकेतो अग्निः तं वयं ज्ञातुं चेतुं च शकेमहि शक्नुवन्तः. So this Nachiketa Agni, which is the sadhan, which is the means to go beyond all the sorrows, and therefore Yajmananam Karminam. So who are these Yajmananam? Yajman is the person who, like in the puja, the one who's doing the puja is the Yajman, meaning the one who is doing karma. Karminam. For such people, for those who are karmat, for those who are performing karma in their life, for those people who think without their doing things will not happen. Now some clarity will come. Those who think that by their doing things will not change. If I don't wash the dishes, how will this thing happen? If I don't sit at the counter, how will the business happen? For such people, for such kartas, For such doers who are addicted to karma, doer is addicted to karma anyway. For such people, it is a bridge. This Nachiketa Agni, it's a bridge. And to know that, may we be successful. किंच यच्च अभयं भयशून्यं संसारपारं तितीर्षतां तर्तुम् इच्छतां ब्रह्मविदां यत् परम आश्रयम् अक्षरम् आत्माख्यं ब्रह्म तच्च ज्ञातुं शकेमहि शक्नुवन्तः. And also those people who are fearless, for those people who are untouched by the fear and are interested in going beyond the samsara. So first one was different person, now second person. Those people who are fearless and want to go beyond samsara. They got no axe to grind in this world. Enough. Ho gaya abhi. Done. Remember, Nachiketa Agni, if you can chant Om and it gets invoked. But if your attention is on the world, you will start becoming master of the world. If your attention is on heaven, you will go to heaven. If your attention is on the self, then Om will take you there, help you to get there. So choice is yours, where you want to go. So here he is saying that also those who are fearless and are interested in going beyond the samsara, meaning those who are, here the word Brahmavidam. So those who are following the path of Brahman, and what is Brahma? Brahman is those who want to follow the path of Brahman, want to know the infinite reality. And what is that infinite reality? Infinite reality is that indestructible Atma is the infinite reality. See? And may we, here a prayer is being made, may we be able to know that Brahman, may we be successful in that. Remember, Trinachiketa. So 3 times the fire. The first fire was this. I explained in a different way before. Now we are following the Bhashya. So the way, the first is those who are kartas, those who are the doers, they invoke. Second is those who are fearless and want to go beyond the samsara, they invoke. And the third, and then and here he says para apara parapare brahmani karma brahma vid ashraye, where are we? 84, 85. Ashraye veditavye iti vakyartha. So here he says that the one who is following the path of karma, the one who is a doer, for him the support is apara brahma. Apara brahma, the lower reality. And the Brahmaveta, the one who is fearless and wants to go beyond the samsara, for him the support, he takes the support of Veditaveti Vakyate. For him the support is Parabrahma. See, if you connect now in the previous chapter, second Valli, second part, second Valli, in that Om was taken, Om is one, but it can give you different things depending upon where your attention is. A doer's attention is on the world because he feels he is the body and he is the individual and he has to do something, and therefore if he thinks that I have to do Om, so he does the Om, chants the Om, and his attention is still on I will be a better meditator once my ailments in the body become healed. Then he's only into healing the body. Brahman becomes secondary. Or he is disinterested in the body and the world or anything with this world. He wants to go, he has fallen in love with the Lord, the Ishvara, and he chants Om to be one with the divine. There is the second Parabrahma, or the infinite, the absolute reality, not necessarily Ishvara. एतयोः एव ह्युपन्यासः कृत ऋतं पिबन्तौ इति. So both of these are the one who is following the Apara Brahma and the one who is following the Parabrahma. Both are known by us. This is and both of these, remember the previous verse said that both of them are inside us. Who? The light and the shadow. Now we are taking, and then it was told the one who invokes the Nachiket Agni. Now we are talking about the Nachiket Agni and the person. Who are the people who follow the Nachiket Agni or invoke the Nachiket Agni? Those people who feel they are the doer, they invoke the Nachiket Agni. For such people, the goal is Apara Brahma. Apara Brahma means everything in this universe, and maximum they can go up to is Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha. But those who want to go beyond the samsara, understand from God's point of view also, from Brahmaji point of view also, samsara is continuing. There is waking, dream and deep sleep. There is creation, maintenance and destruction. That itself is samsara. So who are these second type of people who are Brahmavetta, Brahmavid? They are the ones who are fearless and want to go beyond the samsara. So these two type are seen. Ritam pibantau ityadi hyupanyasah krutam ritam pibantau iti. So by these statement rutam pibantau, these two are being explained. Means these two Brahmans, one is the Apara Brahman and the other is the Parabrahma. This is also comes in the Mundaka Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad it comes. Apara Brahma. तत्र क उपाधिकृतः संसारी विद्या अविद्याः अधिकृतः मोक्षगमनाय संसारगमनाय च तस्य तद उभयगमने साधनः रथः कल्प्यते. So out of both of these type of people, those who have transcended the upadhis, those who are undisturbed by their upadhis. What are upadhis? Conditionings, limitations. What are these conditionings, upadhi? Very simple, very large scale, desh kala vastu. But upadhi at individual level, panchakosha is the upadhi. See? Past, present, future is the upadhi. It depends how you look at it. So we'll go with, so here when it says that those out of these people, these two types, those who are following the Parabrahma and the Aparabrahma, out of them, those who are disidentified with their body, uh, and are and if they are disidentified with the body, automatically there is no interest for the samsara. And as a result, are are following the path to gain moksha. One person is moving towards liberation, moksha, and the other person is moving towards, is gaining the knowledge, to gain more and more of the world. Gaining more of the world means you can be at the patal lok, and you have the possibility to conquer all the planes of existences and reach Brahmalok, the Hiranyagarbha. That's the maximum. When we talk about world, what is the maximum in this world you can attain and achieve? The maximum you can achieve is Hiranyagarbha. That Hiranyagarbha is given by different names. That is immortality, Amrutatva. Why I am using this word and explaining in this way? Indra is also Amrita. He also drank Amrit. He became immortal. But he is miserable all the time. Asuras are coming. I don't want to die. They have thrown us out of the heaven. So immortality is not is not freedom. Immortality is not freedom. So some are wanting moksha and some are want to go into the world and explore the maximum potential in this world. They become qualified for knowledge and what is that? Sansara gamanaya cha tasya tad ubhaya gamane sadhana ratah kalpyate. So they have to know what is worthy of pursuit and what is not worthy of pursuit. What is knowledge and what is ignorance. Only then you will be able to move ahead. Otherwise, it will not. You will not be able to move ahead. And to know what is knowledge and what is ignorance, what is worthy of pursuit and what is not worthy of pursuit, what is uh, uh, by following what moksha comes, and will moksha come by following the world. World meaning world of relationships and possessions. Will moksha come? To explain this point, here it says, sadhana ratha kalpyate. A chariot is imagined, and so here the analogy of a chariot is taken, and through that we are going to see, by following the chariot you can attain, or what is the position of the chariot, what is the position of the owner of the chariot, etc., etc. This is the rupak meaning this is the analogy. And in this way, continuing in the next verse, Where are we? आत्मानं रथिनं विद्धि आत्मानं रथिनं विद्धि शरीरं रथमेव तु शरीरं रथमेव तु बुद्धिं तु सारथिं विद्धि बुद्धिं तु सारथिं विद्धि मनः प्रग्रहमेव च मनः प्रग्रहमेव च टुगेदर आत्मानं रथिनं विद्धि शरीरं रथमेव तु बुद्धिं तु सारथिं विद्धि मनः प्रग्रहमेव च. He says that Vidhi means to know. So know what? Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi. Know that Atma is the Rathinam. Atma is the master of the chariot, the lord of the chariot. See, they have not taken the word Jiva. They have not taken the word ego. Straight away, the Upanishad is saying that you take the Atma as the master of the chariot. I'll explain further. Why? तमस क्यों आ रहा है? I'm yawning so much. Shariram rathamev tu. And who is this Atma? The one who sits in this chariot, who sits in the chariot. And what is the chariot? Chariot is the body. Shariram ratham evatu. Ratham evatu. And that body is the chariot is the body. In the chariot, there is the owner of the chariot, the master of the chariot, the lord of the chariot. Who is the lord of the chariot? The Atma. Where is he sitting? He is not sitting outside the chariot. Haan bhai chal. No, he is sitting in the chariot. You can't stand outside the car and then make the car move. You sit inside the car, then it takes you wherever you want. Exactly the same way. Buddhim tu sarathim viddhi. Now, next line, second line. Buddhim tu sarathim viddhi. Know that the charioteer is the intellect. The charioteer is the intellect. So again, Atma is the master of the chariot. The chariot is the body. The charioteer is the intellect. And mana pragrahame vacha. And what does he do? The charioteer? And mana pragrahame vacha. And charioteer, what does he do? He holds the reins. Know the reins to be the mind, or mind to be the reins. Continuing the thought. No, it's going. Okay. So let's see what he says here. It's not much. Tatra tam atmanam Tatra tam atmanam rutapam samsarinam rathinam rathaswaminam viddhi janihi. So now here the definition is going. If we are following the Shankar Bhashya, it says differently. It says, out of the Atmas, the one which is oriented towards karma phala, tam atmanam rutapam sansarinam rathinam. So the one who is looking forward to the karma phala, he wants to enjoy the karma phala. Remember, karta, the doer, does the karma not to suffer. He only does karma to enjoy. That's a different matter, that only suffering comes to him. But he gets involved in anything only for joy, for gaining joy, for gaining happiness. So here he says, out of those two, the one who is doing karma phala and wanting, you take him to be the rathi, you take him to be the owner of the chariot, you take him to be the master of that chariot, and you understand that the chariot is the body. Shariram ratham tu rathabadha शरीरम रथम एव तु रथबद्ध हयस्थानीयैः इंद्रियैः आकृष्यमाणत्वात् शरीरस्य. He says, because in the body, if we take the here, suddenly he shifts the topic from the chariot. Now he is taking the body to be the chariot, and the body is tied down to the senses and the mind, and the senses are tied to the mind, and the mind to the intellect, and so on. And this body, majority of the times it is seen. Right now also it is happening. You are sitting there because you are addicted to listening. Your one horse is busy. Which horse? The ear horse. What about the other four? Maybe one is reading the bhashya sometimes, or you have the verses when I chant, they are there. So 1, 2, maximum 2. And if you take the book, if you are close, if the eyes are not very good, you bring it close, suddenly the smell of the book also goes into your nose. Remember those younger days when we only kept smelling the books? Third one also comes into action. The feeling, this is recycled, or it is soft paper, it is hard paper, or it is whatever. So remember, we are talking about the person who is addicted to karma and karma phala. When such a person is sitting in the chariot called the body, such a person is pulled by the senses, because the senses are here. What does he say? That he gets pulled by the senses. That's all they have said here, nothing more. Also, buddhim tu adhyavasaya lakshanam sarathim viddhi buddhi netru कहाँ गया भैया 85 83 नेत्रु नहीं बुद्धि नेत्रु प्रधानत्वात् शरीरस्य सारथी नेत्रु प्रधान इव रथः. So he says also whose nature is to take decision, the nature whose is to come to a conclusion, that is buddhi. Intellect makes decisions, intellect comes to conclusions. Intellect makes is the place where convictions are there. He is saying, understand that to be the Sarathi, understand intellect to be the charioteer, because in whom the intellect is strong, here what does he say? Sarthim Vidhi, Buddhi Netru Pradhanatvat Sharirasya Sarathi Netru Pradhana Iva because the leader among all these is the Sarathi, is the intellect, is the charioteer, and he is the Pradhan, he is the boss of all. But some boss of what? Boss of the body, boss of the senses and the rain. Then it says, Sarvam hi dehagatam karyam buddhi kartavyam eva prayena. Because all the jobs of the body, all the functionings of the body, all the physiological functions of the body is the job of the intellect alone. See? I will explain. Buddhi is, if Buddhi is responsible, then mind becomes responsible. Then senses are also disciplined. If Buddhi is licentious, then mind is licentious. Then senses run wherever they want. If Buddhi says no, then mind also says no. Then senses behave accordingly. If Buddhi says yes, so therefore here it is said, Sarvam hi dehagatam karyam buddhi kartavyam eva prayena mana sankalpa vikalpadi lakshanam pragraham rashanam vidhi. Also know that the reins is the mind. And what is this mind? Sankalpa vikalpa. Wherever there are options available, that is what is called as the mind. It never remains the same. Should I eat this? Should I not eat? Did I understand? Did I not understand? What did you say? What did you say? I missed that point. I understood. अरे जोक तो कब का चला गया, अभी तुम हंस रहे हो. ट्यूबलाइट. तो ये हो जाता है, ये मन का चक्कर है सारा. It's like someone what? Someone called a lady to take care of their mother. I was in their house, so she called, and the lady came, and she had to go somewhere, and mother couldn't stay alone because she is very old. So she called one lady to take care. That lady came, and out of her goodness, she started sorting the house. It was a bit of a mess. So put things here, cleared the kitchen, brought the clothes from outside inside, put the clothes for a wash, this, that, everything. And when that lady, the daughter came, the daughter got so mad. My God, how dare you touch my clothes? She didn't say that way. She said, oh, you touched my clothes. Now I'll have to wash them again. What will that person feel when you speak like that? And then I'm enjoying the drama going on in front of my eyes. After all this is done, that lady who had come to take care of the mother, she said, I'm sorry, this, that, and then she left. After she left, after 10-15 minutes, this girl, the daughter, she said, Swamiji, Should I call that lady and tell her that I should not have spoken to you like that way? Then why did you speak it? Why regret now? Now I'll have to wash all my clothes again because you touched it. My God, is she a chhoot or what? Is she untouchable? So like this, this is all mind and not under control. Afterwards, delayed wisdom. Wisdom is in the intellect, but that time it's a reaction because I always live like this. I only bring my clothes in. I only fold my clothes. I don't allow anyone to do this or do that. Now, if someone has said, immediately, blam! And then, Swamiji, I said, no regrets. Let bygone be bygone. No, no, no. After coming to Melbourne, still that thought is going on. It's not gone. Today afternoon, she called. Should I say sorry because I feel bad that I spoke to her that way? I said, when you know that you're going to feel bad, why did you use those derogatory words in that manner? Is that not a human being? Is that an animal in front of you? What is this? Options. Options are always in the mind, not living in the moment. That means that person is still living 3-4 days ago because that thought has not resolved they have not resolved it. So live such a life. Here what we are talking about is mind. Mind is the reins, and mind is where sankalpa, vikalpa. This thought, that thought, this thought, that thought, options. Should I go to see Jurassic Park or should I go to see Top Gun? Should I eat a paratha or should I eat a naan? Should I go to sleep but I got so much work to do? But should I go to sleep if I've got so much work to do? But I have to get up in the morning. But I have to sleep also. I'm feeling very tired. But there's so much work going on. How will I finish this and go to sleep and get up in the morning? Guru chalta hai. This is the mind. Reins never remain the straight. They are always going up and down, isn't it? Sankalpa vikalpadi lakshanam pragraham rashanam viddhi. No mind to be such. Manasa hi pragruhitani shrotradini karnani pravartante rashanaye vashwaha. So he says that just as all the horses, just as the horses are brought under control by way of the reins, just as the horses are brought under control by use of reins, so also the senses are brought under control by the reins is equal to mind, by the mind. So either the mind can go out of the senses into the world, or the mind can control the senses from over involvement in the world and go to the destination. Niyantrit means to be disciplined. If horses are indisciplined, all the 5 horses all going in different direction. One sees a carrot this side, one sees a carrot this side, 2 see the grass that side, all in different directions. One going in 90 degrees, two going in zero and ये क्या हो गया? Opposite directions. The chariot will not reach anywhere. Where you want to go? You want to go from Melbourne to Sydney, and all horses are going on different directions. You will never reach. So what it needs? All horses to move in the same direction. And therefore they are put blinkers so that they don't see what is around. If they see green grass this side, he will run this side. So they have put blinkers. So they only see straight. We also need blinkers. Why? We are also continuously we are running out of the senses. ये खाऊं के वो खाऊं के, ये पहनूं के वो पहनूं के, ये सेल है वो सेल है. We are distracted. I think the coffee in this place is very nice compared to that one. We are slaves of our senses. We have to discipline them. How do you discipline them? By the means of the mind. So it is the mind. See, senses are not, the horses are going to walk their way. If you hold the reins tight, the horse cannot walk. If you leave the reins loose, the horse will run everywhere they want. So we need a person. That will come afterwards now. And it is this mind, sankalpa, vikalpa, adi, vilak, adi. Adi means what? Etc. Etc. means what? That's where the what do you call, the doubt comes, the regrets come, the expectations come, the depression comes, the thought fixation comes, the obsession comes. Not in the intellect, it is in the mind. Why? He has not controlled the senses. That's when this is the condition of the mind. Continuing, what is the time? 8:55. I think we'll stop here and see the fourth verse in our next class. We can read the fourth verse. Indriyani haya nahuhu. Indriyani haya nahuhu. Vishayansteshu gocharan. Vishayansteshu gocharan. Atmendriyamano yuktam. Atmendriyamano yuktam. Bhoktetyahurmanishinaha. Bhoktetyahurmanishinaha. Together. Indriyani haya nahuhu. Vishayansteshu gocharan. Atmendriyamano yuktam. Bhoktetyahurmanishinaha. So, meaning we'll see next week. If I get into it, then again I won't be able to stop. So, with this, did we do no? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.